A few days ago, I posted a video discussing the ongoing controversy surrounding Gerard Khalil, the Completionist, and allegations of charity fraud. In my previous video, I included responses from both Gerard and some ordinary gamers. Since then, Carl Jobst has posted a new video responding in detail to Gerard's claims, shedding more light on this controversy. Given the information that has now been presented, there seem to be clear instances of deception and factual inconsistencies in Gerard's responses. As you might have guessed, Carl packed this video with a lot of receipts and factual evidence.
Hello, you absolute legends. Last month, I released 2 videos outlining charity fraud committed by the Completionist and his charity, the Open Hand Foundation. Those 2 videos can basically be summed up with 3 main allegations. 1. The Completionist committed charity fraud by making false, misleading statements about what the charity was doing in order to solicit donations. 2. The Completionist stole donations that were supposed to go to the Open Hand Foundation. And 3. The revenue generated by the golf tournament run by Gerard's family was not being sent to the Open Hand Foundation. Gerard is trying to address my first claim, that he made misleading statements and thus committed charity fraud. Gerard does not take much responsibility or own up to this in any significant way. Instead, he says he made claims that were potentially implying that donations were made, and that he was disappointed because he wasn't straightforward enough about the timeline. But let's look at what Gerard actually said.
My father, my brother, and I started a foundation called the Open Hand Foundation that raises money for dementia research and treatment for organizations all over the world. We're soon going to be partnering up with the Alzheimer's Association, currently working with the University of San Francisco, and we're kind of one of their main funding support partners going into all of this.
He said in 2020 that he was currently one of the main funding support partners of the University of San Francisco. This lie is so batshit insane, it's impressive. And keep in mind, the Open Hand Foundation has never given a single dollar to the University of San Francisco.
One major contradiction highlighted by Carl Jobst is Gerard's claim that he was a main funding partner for the charity organization in question. However, according to the charity's tax filings that Carl reviewed, Gerard never donated a single dollar. This completely contradicts Gerard presenting himself and his team as integral financial contributors to the charity. This is the first of many instances where Gerard makes questionable claims about his involvement and contributions that are shown to be false or embellished based on the documented evidence.
This lie implies many things. It doesn't just mean they give money to the USF, it means they give so much money that it's one of their main funding support partners.
Gerard claimed that all donations to the Open Hand Foundation would go 100% to charity, untouched for other purposes. However, financial records indicate some portion of these contributions actually funded Indieland events, contradicting his very clear statements.
Income from Twitch subscriptions and bits, along with merchandise, have offset some of the production costs. So to say the money is missing is simply wrong.
This was shocking to me. Does Gerard not understand that he is admitting to embezzlement here? To be clear, a charity using donations to cover expenses isn't illegal. It's totally normal and common. But that's not what Gerard did. Gerard lied to the public and said that this money was going to charity and that he wasn't touching any of it.
You can do bits, you can do subs, you can actually donate money.
Bits, subs, YouTube memberships, or YouTube super chats, anything that supports us is going to the foundation at the very end.
As a reminder, all bits and subs, including Amazon Primes, go towards the charity as well. So it's all a pass-through, all going for a good cause.
Gerard had claimed all donations to his foundation would go straight to charities helping good causes. He said the foundation would not use any of the donated money itself, or pass it through their own organization first. But records show the foundation actually did use some money. So Gerard wasn't entirely telling the truth. Some money didn't go directly or purely to helping others in need. His organization used some along the way.
You can give bits, all of that goes to charity. You can buy a t-shirt. We have a challenge coin that can legally be considered a weapon. If you throw it, it's very heavy. All of this stuff is going to charity. Income from Twitch subscriptions and bits, along with merchandise, have offset some of the production costs.
And not only did Gerard say this many times, it was plastered on screen during the entire event for multiple years. What you need to understand is that Gerard isn't a charity. He is an individual. When you give a bit or a sub to his Twitch channel, you aren't giving money to charity. You're giving money to Gerard. Gerard said, "Give me money in the form of bits and subs, and I will give that money to charity." He told his fans and people that look up to him, "Entrust your hard-earned money to me, and I will give all of that money to the Open Hand Foundation." But you know what happened when everyone gave Gerard their money, assuming it would go to charity? Gerard said, "Fuck you, I've changed my mind. I'm going to spend that money on something else. I'm going to spend that money on something that directly benefits myself." This is again textbook charity fraud and is the literal definition of embezzlement.
When Girard refers to the charity, he is talking specifically about his own charity organization, the Open Hand Foundation. The Open Hand Foundation is Girard's own non-profit, so Girard and the Open Hand Foundation are the intermediaries collecting funds before passing them to end charities. This differs from directly donating to an existing charity or cause. By creating his own non-profit middleman, Girard collects contributions first before later granting funds out. Keeping this sequence clear is important. The public donates to Girard's Open Hand Foundation, which then sends money to beneficiaries. Confusing his non-profit with direct charity giving would be incorrect, since Open Hand merely facilitates donation transmission rather than being the end provider of research, services, or aid itself. One claim from Girard that seems clearly untrue is that the foundation funds weren't covering costs for gaming events.
Some might say, but Carl, Gerard isn't spending money on himself. He's spending money to fund Indieland. But Indieland is Gerard. It's his event, run by his company, streamed on his Twitch channel. Of everyone in the entire world who benefits from Indieland, it's Gerard who benefits the most. He gets the Twitch followers, he gets the media attention, he gets to mingle with game developers and celebrities, he gets all the credit. And do you really think that everyone who subscribes during Indieland instantly cancels their subscription the moment it ends? Gerard taking donations to pay for Indieland is not only him spending donations on himself, it's him paying for something that he directly benefits from. And what makes this even worse is that he would then go and lie, trying to take credit for paying for everything himself.
So for those of you guys who don't know, we had a show last year, and it went great, but it was very expensive, and TOBG covered the cost of it, but we have kind of a rule of like, we want to make sure that like, as we do charity events, that we're not costing the charity organization or really anyone outside of our awesome sponsors. The guys at FlyQuest who've been so supportive, we want to make sure that the money that we do raise actually goes to charity and is spent properly.
Carl also calls out that Gerard only donated money after questions were raised. If Carl hadn't highlighted inconsistencies around donations and spending, it seems Gerard and the foundation may still not have donated a single dollar to charity.
At the end of the video, Gerard gets angry, puffs out his chest, and attempts to scare me.
Furthermore, my family and I are in serious conversations with our legal teams regarding next steps, as the allegations that have been made with complete disregard for the truth of the matter. These allegations were made by individuals who self-admittedly aren't even financial or legal professionals. These allegations are slanderous, and we believe we're done with selfish intent.
What a pathetic bitch. The guy who lied to his fans for years, taking hundreds of thousands of dollars of their money by misleading them, the guy who kept donations for a decade and only donated because he got caught, the guy who spent donations on himself, the guy who abused the trust of his friends and dragged them into this, the guy who jeopardized the financial security of all of his employees because of his sheer stupidity and greed, has the gall to threaten legal action. What an absolute buffoon. If Gerard or his family are stupid enough to go after me, I wish them the best of luck.
What Carl seems to be saying is that if Gerard wants to make legal threats or take this issue to court, Carl feels prepared for that fight. Essentially, it's Carl showing he won't be intimidated by threats from Gerard's camp. He seems to say, "Go ahead, take this to court and let's air it all transparently."